This is a complete aberration. Not only have they raped the state Rivers, now they've now come to superimpose an impostor from Akwa Ibom to be their Rivers State INEC chairman. The same Akwa Ibom that the sole administrator, that is an impostor himself from Tinubu, is from. Now, let's listen.
The committee overseeing the emergency rule in Rivers State on Tuesday raised concerns over the nomination of Michael Ode as chairman of Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission (RESEC). Drama ensued when Dr. Michael Ode was discovered to be from Cross River State during the screening. Incidentally, he hails from the same state as the sole administrator of Rivers State, Ibok Speaking during the screening exercise, chairman of the Senate Ad hoc Committee on Rivers Emergency Rule and Senate leader, Senator Bamdele APC Ekiti Central, has vowed that the committee will carry out a holistic probe into the issue why an indigene from another state is appointed to chair another state's electoral body and to know whether it is something that can serve as a precedent or not. So joining us now on the show to discuss the nomination of a non-indigene as RESEC chairman is Dr. Lelonu Nwibubasa, former Commissioner for Empowerment and Employment Generation in Rivers State. Welcome to the show. Isn't it sad enough that an aberration happened with a state of emergency, that you had a sole administrator and they suspended your elected governor, and now to add insults to injury, the sole administrator is now bringing somebody from his state to come and head Rivers State's, electoral commission? Is it that with the intent that Fubara will never come back again?
Well, Rufai, good morning, and good morning to all Nigerians. I am surprised as you are that a state of emergency that was declared against all known constitutional provision up till this date, 3 months after, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has not considered that despite wide condemnations, appeals, and criticism from well-meaning Nigerians, that he will rescind on that decision, very unconstitutional decision. Rather, what we see, like you have said, is to add salt to injury by continually depleting all known government and political structures of Rivers people and replacing same with aliens. I want to ask, where in Nigeria have we had an independent electoral commission of a state headed by someone from another state? This is a terrible precedent. And so Nigerians shall also be asking if we can get chairmen of electoral commissions from other countries like Ghana and those doing well in their democracy to come and head that of Nigeria, since Rivers State has become the space where we will begin to experiment these kind of things. So to us in Rivers State, it is an embarrassing moment. It is a complete show of disrespect to Rivers people by the President Tinubu's administration. He has disregarded Rivers State so badly, pushing us to the background, forgetting our contribution to national growth and development and to the stabilization of the polity of this country. I think this is a joke taken too far. And as Rivers people, I can tell you that what we see today in the entire jamboree of the National Assembly, seeing clearly that the man nominated is not from Rivers State, yet they went ahead to allow it pass because the president has sanctioned it. I can tell you that the National Assembly is lame dog because you cannot identify something that you have seen as an aberration. And as lawmakers, you could not come back to tell the president this cannot fly, that it has to be a Rivers indigene. Yet, they went ahead after noting this aberration and put it in there that we have this bitter pill to swallow. This is unfortunate, and I can tell you, Rufai, that Rivers people are not happy, and we will fight this thing constitutionally. Again, are you not surprised that these issues that has been raised are before the courts? There are Rivers indigenes that has gone to court as early as in April to stop the National Assembly to sit over issues of Rivers State until the cases in courts are declared. Even the rules of the Senate says that any case that is before the courts awaiting judicial pronouncement must not be entertained until such pronouncement is given. So on what constitution is the Senate and the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria operating? Have they constituted themselves into the Armed Forces Ruling Council, who gives impetus to the President directly?
Dr. Nwibubasa, if I may come in at this point, I want to quote the Senate leader, Senator Bamidele, who is saying that the law does not state anything about this appointee coming from outside of the state. So the constitution you're referring to is silent on this matter. So I'd love to know what is your motivation? Because you said you'll fight it constitutionally. And of course, if the constitution is silent, you're entitled to test the constitution and see what the outcome will be. I want to know what's the rationale, because some people might say, well, maybe this is the era where we need a degree of independence in these state commissions, state electoral commissions, because we've seen that what happens there is almost like a script that plays out year in and year out. So those who are in favor of independence might say that maybe what we need to start doing is to start mixing it up and having people from different states overseeing other states so that there can be independence. What is your position on this?
First of all, let me clarify this. I stated the issue of the law and the constitution first on the basis that there is a subsisting court case forbidding the National Assembly from entertaining any issue concerning Rivers State in terms of appointment of people into boards and agencies and parastatals of government. That issue is before the court. And so, because this is before the court, it is not expected that the National Assembly should have sat over this issue until that order is vacated and that judicial pronouncement is made. And I made reference to that in relation to also the rules that governs the Senate, that says any matter pending before the court awaiting judicial pronouncement, that the Senate shall not entertain it because it shall amount to prejudice. So that's on one aspect. The aspect of appointing a non-indigent to head our Electoral Commission. Yes, there is no place in the Constitution that bars any person from Nigeria to be appointed into any position, whatever, in the entire nation. But what we are saying is, there is what we call traditional laws that applies to people in different places. Like you rightly said, this is an emergency rule, so to say. Also strange to our laws, strange to our Constitution. And then we got a mandate from the president given to the sole administration. What was the mandate? To bring peace to Rivers State. Today, his actions are not bringing peace because nominating a cross-river indigent to head our Electoral Commission is an insult. Today, sole administrators are heading our local government. Yes, they may be from Rivers State, but clearly they are people that are loyal to the minister of the FCT. So you can see a situation where Fubara has been dangerously, unconstitutionally, unlawfully removed from office and now carefully being deprived of everything a governor ought to abdicate on. So by the time they may decide to bring back Governor Fubara, of course, he'll be sitting as a lame dog governor. That's not our issue. Our issue is that we are Rivers people. The position that was given to the governor was a donation from our votes. And so whichever way he wants to respond to the situation, it's up to him as a governor. But as Rivers people, we will not sit to be insulted continually by this action of Mr. President and by the entire orchestration of emergency rule in Rivers State. And every day what we see to see. Today, I'm sure you know that in the budget that was presented by the sole administrator, he has mentioned that there's going to be employment into the civil service. And of course, they've also submitted the list of those that are going to be in the Civil Service Commission, the nominee. Are you not going to be surprised that of the 10,000 civil servants that may be employed under this sole administrator, if in an appointment of 6 persons in a commission, we already have a Cross River man standing there as the chairman, I'm sure our civil service will be 50% Cross River, 25% Akwa Ibom, and 25% Rivers State. These are the things that are coming.
I understand. We don't know that yet, Doctor. We do accept your feelings and your sentiments on this fact that while this isn't necessarily a legal issue, many people can understand that you would want someone from a state to be able to occupy positions within the state. But because you touched on this, the budget being released and then also being increased by the sole administrator, I do want to ask you, I know you're not happy with his presence there because of the circumstances. That I understand and can accept. But if you were to look at this situation objectively, look at what he has been doing as sole administrator since he was put in under this emergency rule, do you feel comfortable with his type of leadership? Using the budget for an example, the fact that he was grilled quite aggressively about it, but it was approved. He did increase by about some 15%, something like that. So I would like to ask, yes, thank you. So I would like to ask you about objectively your thoughts about the sole administrator's performance up until now.
Well, let me be very frank to you. Despite my passionate disposition for my people and for Rivers State, I will not in any way say it differently about the performance of the sole administrator. Since the sole administrator came into Rivers State is like an economically dead zone. There has been no action of the sole administrator that has promoted any aspect of our economy. And my surprise is that you came in and saw a budgetary provision of about 800 billion from our governor. And then you have said you went ahead and increased that budget to about 1.4 trillion. And then it was submitted to the Senate. And on return, it has been increased to 1.8 million. And you want to tie that to performance? This is budget padding. This is a padding to accommodate the money that has been looted from Rivers State so far. There is no gainsaying about it. The sole administrator does not understand our needs and desire. Which House of Assembly or commissioner came to the sole administrator and told him this is what Rivers people need in the local government of Kana, Obiakpo, or Eche? So where did he get the understanding of our need that is making him tell us that he's increasing the budget because of infrastructure? Can the sole administrator tell us that infrastructure that is so important to Rivers people that we are not aware of? So clearly, the sole administrator has not performed. Salaries are paid as much as first, second week of the new month, which is the least we used to have in Rivers State. I'm just, as of today, that's when local government chairmen are getting their salaries. So a sole administrator that cannot even pay salary in time, is that the sole administrator that, when somebody is coming to your house, please, and said he wants to pass 2 nights in your house, and he comes with 20 boxes, what does that tell you? He's not coming to pass 2 nights. He's probably coming to pass a year in your house. That's exactly what we are saying in this emergency rule. A man that was supposed to be a bridge and mediate peace, he's not carrying baggages as if he has come to dwell. I think Rivers State has become the dwelling place of the sole administrator. And the president needs to sincerely come out to us to tell us what it is.
Let's talk about the court cases. You said that case has been pending. Has been pending before the Supreme Court for months now, as regards that court case on the determination that people should cease appointments, to governmental parastatals and agencies and all of that. I want to ask you, what's your thoughts about it? Why has it been pending for a while now? Because we have not gotten determination on it first. Secondly, you said the sole administrator has not done anything. But in that budget, the sole administrator said 85% of what was in that budget was what was put forward by Fubara. And you are claiming that Fubara brought in 800 billion. What he added, the 15% was just 300 billion. So are you saying that the sole administrator had jacked up what was initially put forward by Fubara, that you've got much to do over 1 trillion? Thirdly, is the fact that the local government and the state, what's the interaction like between the local government administrators and the people? Because that's another very important one.
Okay, let me start from the first question. The issue of the matter pending before the court is a matter of judicial emergency. So in a system where a state is hanging in the balance and matters are before the courts and the court is not making pronouncement, tells you of the overwhelming influence of a big presidential system over legislators and the judiciary, because they won't want to do anything that will in any way truncate the gimmicks and the maneuvers of a president that has decided to capture Rivers State and make it a conquer state. That's one. Two, talking about the budget, we need to be very circumspect here.
Do you have proof that the president...
Governor Fubara's budget was 800 billion.
Do you have proof that the president decided to...
Yes, Rivers State is a conquered territory today. Yes.
Where's your proof?
Because the president has no reason. The president has no reason to be the one to start presenting the budget of Rivers State, appointing people in Rivers State into position, dissolving parastatals and boards that was set up by the government, approved by the House of Assembly that is also under suspension. These were boards and parastatals that were set up democratically by the existing structures of government before the emergency rule. So coming back to the issue of the budget, 800 billion by the suspended governor. Presentation of new budget, 1.4 trillion. Now, the budget has come back to 1.8 trillion. That is more than 100%. So what are we talking about 15%? 800 billion to 1.8 trillion. Please, can we do the calculation?
No, it's not 1.8 trillion, it's 1.48 trillion. No, it's 1.48 trillion, it's not 1.8 trillion. It's 1.48
the new budget
trillion.
is 1.8 trillion. I want you to check the new facts as of today. It has moved from 1.48 that was sent in to the National Assembly to 1.8.
Dr. Nwibubasa, we have come to the end of our time, but it's been a great conversation. Thank you for joining us.